But she ain't never seen the world up.
Hey guys, it's Hannah, and today I think you know what I'll be talking about. Hopefully you guys all know who this person is. I'll talk about it and basically my experience with it. So, let's go. So let me tell you how this happened. I went with my friend to 97 Amp Live on June 25th, and we mostly went for Niall because we're like huge One Direction fans. But I have listened to Jon Bellion before, but I never really like dove into it. Like I wasn't obsessed with him as I am with the rest of One Direction. Rat and Puff came out and they were saying how there were still meet and greet tickets for Niall, and we ran to the tables and we got in line. We stood in line for a while, oh my gosh, and then we get up to the table and they're like, oh, we're out of passes. Oh, I'm still so salty about it. And they're like, oh, but you can take a keychain. Didn't even have anything to do with Niall at all. So we go back into the venue and Niall was about to go on. I love him. So I was like hyperventilating, and then he came out and I was like screaming, and then I started crying and I cried all the way through this town. His set ended. We just want to go find him so that we can meet him. We saw his Instagram story and it looked like he was inside of a house. We were walking around because Jon Bellion, his set was next, and so we were like, okay, let's just try and find Niall. And we saw the fence and there were mobile homes in there, and I was just like, they're hiding him in there. So we tried to walk out and the security didn't really seem to care, and we were standing by the fence because there was a gap like that big. We were looking through. Then, oh my gosh, I was so mad. There were these girls who came up, and like me and my friend, we try not to scream because they don't like that. That makes them not want to come out anymore. If you're trying to meet them, you don't scream at them. Like, you be like respectful and you try and talk to them and have a conversation, maybe a picture or two, but that's not supposed to be the entire thing. You want to like live in the moment and you want to be able to have a conversation with these people because it never happens and people don't get that very often. So we were just waiting to see if like he would come out of like his mobile home or anything, and then these girls come up and they start screaming. I'm like, oh my god. I was like, what are you doing? And then the freaking security guards came out and they were like screaming at us to get away from the fence, and I'm like, way to go, like you just ruined that for us, like good job. Anyways, Jon's set, oh my gosh, it was so good. And he came out and he was all energetic and he was jumping around, and I was like, oh my god, like this is about to be so fun. So his set ended and we're like, okay, maybe we can try and meet Jon, or maybe Niall's still here. So we walk around the venue again, and we walked past the fence, and we're like, okay, the mobile homes are still there, like, we'll see. We see these people waiting outside of the gate, and I was like, oh, what are you guys doing? And I saw these little girls with Niall signs, and I was like, oh, is Niall still here? This girl was like, they said that he left, and I was like, they're probably saying that so they can get us to leave, like, let's be real. But it turns out that he actually did leave. I was like, well, I still want to meet Jon. So we're waiting, and we're like, where's Niall? Then this girl was like, yeah, we left Jon's set early because a security guard told us that if we wait outside the gate, then we can meet somebody, but like nothing has happened. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. So they told me his name, and I think it was something like Chris. I don't really know. One of these security guards that wasn't over by the gate originally, he was walking by, and I was like, hey, is your name? And then whatever his name was that I can't remember. And I was like, these girls have a question. I don't know. It was just ridiculous. And then there was this older guy who came out of the gate, and he goes, what are you guys waiting for? And I'm like, Niall or Jon? And he's like, oh, well, Niall left. And I was like, okay. They opened the gate, and this truck like pulled out, and then it was there for a while, and then it pulled back into the gate, and we're like, I bet they're putting Jon in that. Then we see this bus pull out, and we're like, that is where Jon is. And so we all like huddle around the bus, and we're all like trying to like follow it a little bit, and it didn't get very far. So then the security guard, she's like, okay, everybody get in a single file line, and I was like, this is happening. Like, we are about to meet Jon Bellion. I was like, oh my god, this is so exciting. So we all get in a single file line, and I am very, very short. So me and Emma pushed ourselves to the front, and then they opened the door, and then, oh, Jon came out. He like gave everybody high fives. It was so exciting. And then he went back into his van. So it wasn't really like that much, but we told him good job and how it was so good, and he said thank you, and I touched his arm. I'm so ridiculous. That's like not even a big deal. But they were all just so nice. That was the first famous person that I've met. And then me and Emma were like screaming and saying how it was so worth it to sit out there and wait. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, that's all I have for you guys today. I will see you guys next time. Comment down below if you've met anybody famous. And you can include your story how if you want to. And also comment if you have any video suggestions. But yeah, I will see you guys next time. Yay! Alright, here we go.